Everybody knows there's not a better time of year.
Welcome to another episode of the Everyday Preparedness Podcast. My name's Zan.
This is Brent.
And we're here with a Christmas episode, and we're going to talk about a few of our items in our store that would be excellent gifts, which some people will debate whether emergency preparedness items are gifts or if they're not, and we'll get into that also. And we can talk about just some general preparedness ideas for Christmas season. So with that, we'll just start off with talking about our items. We do have a web store if you haven't checked it out. The tab is right at the top of our webpage, our homepage. And we've got all different kinds of preparedness items at all different prices, anywhere starting from $5 and going up to, a couple hundred. And anything and everything is in there. We're adding new things all the time. If there's something that you'd like to see, email us and we'll see if we can get it. We might not, but we'll do our best. So we have very, very good pricing compared to a lot of the other websites. We're not trying to hawk anything that we don't believe in either. We've tried one, if not both of us, have tried most of the stuff we're selling. So I'll start off with just an inexpensive item that you can throw in someone's stocking or get them a really good gift and then put this on the package, like tape it to it as an extra. And that's the 100-hour candle. It's $4.49 in our shop right now. It comes packaged in a plastic container that's kind of like a stronger version of a pop bottle. So it's a little bendable. I'm able to put one. I have a plastic bag around it just in case it spills. But I'm able to put that in my bug out bag, and it's stored really well. I've had it in there for like a year now. Nothing's spilt. It doesn't give off any scent from what I've noticed. I've lit it for just a little bit. It's safe to burn, and it does last quite a while. So have you had any experience with those?
Yeah, I used one. It's been a couple years. We lost power for like 3 or 4 days, so I used one the whole time, and at night, and it worked great for me. I didn't have any problems with it, and that's one reason we added it in the store. I've got a bunch of them here at the house, so it's one thing I've had good success with.
And as inexpensive as they are, like I said, great stocking stuffers. Like I said at the start of the show, buying people preparedness items is debatable on a gift. If you're in the preparedness mindset already, you want to help people out, and in our minds, it is a gift. But to some other people, it might be like buying a roller thing, It's like, what is this? Even though it might be useful, it's not really a gift. How do you feel about that?
Honestly, I don't mind being the weird relative or friend that buys somebody, like, food. I honestly, it doesn't bother me a bit. They may look at me and be like, well, what the hell is this? It's like, well, if, you ever need it, you will thank me for it.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. And I might not go out and buy, a bucket of freeze-dried food that we sell, but I might buy them this candle that I'm talking about because anybody can use it for anything, and it's just kind of an added bonus. Like, as inexpensive as it is, it's kind of a throw-in gift. And when they ask, why do I need this, that kind of opens the gate to talk about preparedness.
Yep.
So I'll let you take over with the next item.
I've got the Life Straw, the personal filter. I think we got it for $19.95 on the website. This thing is, honestly, I was amazed whenever I found this. I'm trying to see if I can find who actually made it, and I can't right now. It's some foreign company, of course. Yeah, it's Best Regard Franzen Group out of Switzerland. Anyway, they developed this specifically for places like in Africa. Their water's awful. They may get most of their water from literally a mud puddle right next to their cattle pen. That's not a good situation to be in. And that was kind of the standards that this thing was developed around. It filters, first of all, it filters up to 1,000 liters, which is 264 gallons. I've seen somewhere that they recommend you average out 1 gallon per person per day for body function as a minimum in a survival situation. So worst case scenario, this one filter for, $20 would get you for 264 days.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say that's almost a year that just one filter does. And it's made to drink directly from the source. Like, say you've got a pond or something, and that's all you've got, you can drink straight from that with this. It'll filter out your bacteria, your protozoa, your giardia, and your cryptosporidium, and it gets those nasty little buggers out. Go ahead with whatever you had.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's very lightweight. I have one as well. I've actually used it in not a mud puddle, but a rain puddle like out of the concrete, because I wanted to test it out,
Right.
and I just took a few drinks out of this puddle. I didn't get sick. It tasted fine. It works, and it's something that people can throw in a backpack, throw in a purse, throw in any kind of bag they keep in their car, their get home bag, or shoot, if you want to keep it in your car, you can throw it in your console or your glove compartment, and it's just something great that anybody can use. Again, you're talking right at $20. It's relatively inexpensive. You can use that also as a stocking stuffer or kind of a equivalent gift.
Yeah, I mean the thing, it weighs literally 2 ounces.
It's a little bit, it's not, don't, you can look at the picture on our website. It says live straw. It's not the size of a traditional straw, obviously. It is a little bit more bulky, but it's really not bad. If you throw it in a bag, you're good to go. So.
Oh yeah, easy.
Moving on to the next item, and this is kind of a catch-all item, would be our 5-day emergency survival kit. Technically it's for one person. However, you could really divvy this stuff up and make it last for several other people, because you do get 32 servings total of food. So you could, portion that out to different people if you absolutely had to, and it'd be better than nothing. And you get this in a backpack. You get a portable stove, stainless steel cup, I think it's a flashlight, a whistle, a small first aid and hygiene kit, emergency poncho, a deck of playing cards, a Mylar blanket, and some waterproof matches. And I think there's a couple other things in there as well, but that's a lot of stuff for right at $69.99. And that's something you can just, if you're wanting to take care of somebody, you can pick this item up and say, Merry Christmas, you're taken care of in an emergency situation at the bare minimum, because I know some people that I want to buy this for that don't know anything about preparedness, but could pick out a few items that oh yeah, I could use this. This makes sense. But it's got all these other good preparedness items in it. What do you have to say about it?
Well, I was going to say, it's also good, like you said, for the person who doesn't really know exactly how to start. I know whenever I first started getting into this, I looked at all the bug out bag stuff and what everybody always recommended. And, I know we have some shows planned on all that. But it's very easy to get lost. And you kind of get lost in a sea of information. You're like, okay, so I've read 600 pages on the internet, and I've managed to buy a bag.
Yeah, and to go along with that, lost in the sea of information, I got lost in the sea of pricing. I mean, I spent, I was like, okay, I've got to get a really good bag. And that bag that we both have that same bag that we actually picked up at Walmart. It's a really good bag, but the problem was it was like $40 or $50.
Right.
And while this bag might not be the same quality as that, for just $30 more than what we paid for our single bag, you're getting a bag full of everything at the necessity basics you need. So I think if you want to, if you have a relative or a friend or family you want to buy a gift for this Christmas, and you have a feeling they're not going to be weirded out by this, this is definitely the thing to get, because this is where they can start, and then you can help them from there. So I'll let you take our last item.
All right, the last one I have is something I know I have here at the house, and it's the Life Straw Family 1.0. I think we've got it for $74.95. Mm-hmm. That's one of the cheapest prices we found. Whenever we set the pricing, we tried to go at or below the cheapest we found that we could without breaking contract on a lot of stuff. But this thing is very, very similar to the personal Life Straw. It's obviously a lot more expensive, and it'll do a whole lot more. It will actually filter 4,750 gallons of water.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. And it'll do it's the 99.999% of the viruses, bacteria, and the protozoan cysts. One limitation on the personal Life Straw is it doesn't do the protozoa. And that's not as big of a deal. It's, the Life Straw is really good for camping, for rain puddles, for stuff like that. If you're drinking from stagnant water, you really need to go with something like the Life Straw Family, because it gets the protozoa and everything out. It requires literally no electrical power, batteries, replacement parts, or any of that. You don't have to have any running water. There's actually videos online. I'll see if I can get one posted on the website, where it shows them actually taking water from the cow stall filled with the manure and everything else and filtering it out and actually drinking it immediately afterwards.
I have not seen that video, and now I definitely want to check it out.
It's actually people from the company that makes it in Africa, and it shows them. I think they literally take something like an ice cream scoop to the manure and put it in the top and fill it with like muddy water, and the water comes out at the bottom just like crystal clear.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to get that video posted.
Yeah, I can honestly say I have never attempted that, and I don't recommend it. But I honestly think that it's something that this thing would be capable of doing. Like I said, these things were made for the worst conditions imaginable. I know the Life Straw actually won like Time Invention of the Year, I think in like 2005.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're not giving stuff like that out, to just, cheap crap that doesn't work and gets people sick.
Right.
So, I mean, if, you're looking for, like I said, you're looking at over 4,000 gallons of water. So, I mean, you can imagine. I mean, I think we have it broke down on the website where it's like, I think 4 people for 3 years is what that would support. And I mean, that's $75. You look at most water filters, you can buy the big like gravity fed Berkeys and all those, but I mean, you're spending $200, $300, $400, $500 on them. And you have to have the activated charcoal, and you got to have other stuff with it. It's just the one thing, and that's all it is.
And we're both all about saving money, and that's another thing this show's about, is trying to get you the necessities for as little as you can. You don't need to go out and spend hundreds of dollars when you can spend, check this out for $75. So I think this is a great gift for anybody, because if you want to give this to somebody who's just getting into it, this is going to cut costs for them on buying water. They don't have to buy the water filter. They can buy. I always think keeping stored water, whether it's in the 2-liter bottles with the sun, or storing the jugs or bottled water, I think having some of that around is fine. But I mean, I've seen people that are buying pallets of that stuff. And
right.
When you do the math on the money and the size room that this is going to take up in your house or in your shed or your bunker if you're really out there, it's a great investment. So. You got anything else to add that in our store that people might want to check out?
Really, just any of the stuff. I mean, I've eaten. I can't say I've eaten every single pouch of everything we've ever got or that's in there, but I've eaten a lot of it. And I mean, it may not be something you'd want to pay $200 for at a restaurant, but to eat for, a couple weeks, I think it's a pretty good deal. I think it's good food. And the other stuff.
The 5-day survival bag that we mentioned just a few minutes ago. That has, I believe that has 6 pouches in it. I could be wrong.
That sounds right.
I ordered, a long time ago, I ordered Wise's 72-hour, just the food. And I paid the same amount for just the food that's in this bag as the entire bag costs through our store. But I've tried the food, and I think I've tried 5 or 6 different types of the pouches, everything from the full entree to just like the rotisserie chicken. And I love it all. I haven't had anything that's upset my stomach yet or that tastes awful. So I highly recommend everything we've got in there. And we've got other cheaper food too, just like the cans of the freeze-dried bananas or, fruits, vegetables, anything like that. We've also got some inexpensive fire tender. So, and we'll move on to talk about just some general Christmas preparedness. And, situational awareness is a big, big thing. And one thing I can recommend is if you are going shopping at the mall, which I don't recommend, but that's a whole nother show topic. If you are going to the mall or somewhere that's overly populated, Christmas season is one of the biggest seasons for robberies. People are going to see gifts laying in your car. They're going to see you carrying gifts in and out. You got your hands full. So you're going to be an easy prey, especially women. No offense, but I don't see too many guys going out shopping with all these bags. So that's just one thing I can think of right off the bat. What do you got?
Watch out for rip-offs and, cheap knockoffs and stuff like that. I know I like to save money whenever I can. Whenever I go to buy something, I always, call me a cheapskate, but I like looking at Craigslist, eBay, and stuff like that. And this is a time of year that people like to take advantage of others. And I mean, I hate to say it that way, and I wish it wasn't the case, but, such is life. So just keep an eye out, and like he said, just, keep your head turned around a little bit, see what's going on around you, especially when you're in crowded places.
One other thing we can talk about is just kind of home safety. A lot of people like to burn candles, or I've actually seen people put candles in trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, and needless to say, a lot of times that ends up setting fire to the house. So, and we're back to cold weather. We did a last episode on cold weather, If you're having a group of people over and you got a space heater going, or maybe an electric blanket, or candles, whatever, just keep in mind about that stuff and check it every so often. Don't let it run forever. Um, if you've got inflatables outside, keep an eye on those. Keep an eye on your pets around a lot of the decorations. There's not to sound like a parent or anything. There's like choking hazards, and if you have any kind of like chocolate in the packages, it's poisonous to dogs. So that's just some random things I'm thinking of.
Oh no, I agree, because if their dogs are anything like my dogs, they see something that's within reach, and if I'm not there to tell them no, it ends up in their mouth, and so we have to prepare for that. Crazy dogs. And the other one's just, like you said, watch the candles. Trees dry out, lights go bad, they get stuff. They get like, I don't know, rodents or something like that, maybe chewing on them. Hopefully not in your house, but things happen. They get broke. You get shorts in them. All that stuff, just be careful and check all that stuff twice, 3 times, and, various other times around, so.
And on a more comical note, but still fitting, make sure you have backup Christmas bulbs, as you always have backup batteries for your flashlights, and make sure your chimney is cleaned out, because you don't want something going somewhere when Santa comes down the chimney.
Exactly.
And with that, we'll close it out. So everybody have a Merry Christmas. And if you got any questions, email us, and we'll be happy to help.
You guys have a Merry Christmas.